My friends, welcome to another Superdivorce production. This is Nicholas Blars here, one half of the synth-pop duo known as Superdivorce. I just wanted to come to you today with a bit of good news here. I was doing my rounds earlier today on the internet, went over to bloodydisgusting.com, and I saw this wonderful news headline here. A trio of new House of the Dead Scarlet Dawn trailers appear. Now, I did not realize that they were even making a new House of the Dead game. I especially did not know that any trailers had been released for it. Now, I guess I've been out of the loop on the arcade scene here. Even though I love going to the arcade, I love playing arcade games. I don't really pay attention to the new arcade games coming out. You know, I'm kind of old school in that sense. But House of the Dead, I've always loved the House of the Dead arcade games. Playing on the arcade cabinet's always a good time with friends. I have played the games on consoles, especially a lot of fun in the Wii with the Wii Zapper. That's always a good time. But anyway, so I saw this. There's a new House of the Dead game coming out, and let me tell you a little bit about it. So it looks like this fall, House of the Dead Scarlet Dawn is headed to North America for all Dave and Buster's restaurants. Woohoo! Yeah, man. Great news there, huh? Yeah, it gives you a reason to go to Dave and Buster's. Typically, I avoid Dave and Buster's. I know it can be fun, but you want to go there, you want to have dinner, you want to drink while you're there a little bit. Everything is very expensive when you go to Dave & Buster's. There's got to be a good reason to go. I think the last time that I went was when they released the new Mario Kart arcade game, and I made the trip just to play that. And I will be making the trip to play this. But you have to have a good reason to go, in my opinion. It's just so goddamn much to play games there, It's got to be an event. But this is an event. This is a good reason to go to Dave & Buster's this fall. So they released a few trailers for it. I will link to those in the description here. I'm not going to show them. I just wanted to tell you a little bit more about this game. I did a little research. We're going to talk a little bit more about House of the Dead, the history of it in depth today, show you where this game falls in the timeline, because the games do not go in sequential order. They jump around a little bit. You've got prequels, you've got some games that are kind of like side pieces up in the air as to whether or not they're canon. We're going to talk about that a little bit, but that's to get you ready for what we're about to do here in this video today. So hopefully you guys like House of the Dead. Hopefully you're up for some game news, and we're going to take a peek at this one and see what's going on and what we're able to find out. So enjoy, chefs.
You shall all die. The House of the Dead.
Okay, so let's dive on into House of the Dead. See what we can find out about the franchise as a whole, and also this very new edition, Scarlet Dawn. This is Scarlet Dawn is going to be the first new House of the Dead arcade game since House of the Dead 4 SP came out in 2006. That was the special edition of House of the Dead 4. Special because it was a very unique cabinet setup. It was a two-person walk-in private room, basically. It had like double doors that would open up, and two people could walk into this room, kind of like a huge cubicle almost is how it was set up. And there were screens in front of you and also behind you. And then the seat that you sat in was like, sandwiched in between the two screens. And as you were playing the game, you would have zombies and monsters coming at you from behind, and you could hear them. It had like surround sound. So it gave you a really intense feeling of being, of the monsters closing in on you at all times. And the seat that you were sitting in, perhaps with your partner, you didn't have to play it with two people, but you could. The seat would kind of rotate back and forth from screen to screen. So as soon as you began accumulating enemies on one screen, it would flip around, you'd have to take them out, and then it would flip back around, you have to take the enemies out on the other screen, and kind of so on and so forth until you clear the place out. Unfortunately, if you want to play this game, you're probably not going to be able to. Not in the US anyway. There are no House of the Dead 4 SP cabinets like in any arcade in the United States. There were 2 when they launched. They were both at different GameWorks locations. One was in Illinois and the other one was in Las Vegas. The Illinois cabinet was actually retired because it was constantly acting up and had technical issues all the time. So they retired that one and took it out. I don't know what happened to it after that. The Vegas cabinet was actually sold to a private collector. So if you want to play this game, you're going to have to track one down to purchase, or you could probably go to Japan. I've heard there are a few different arcades like throughout Europe that actually still have this game in stock. But chances are you're probably never going to get to play this game so long as you are here on Earth. What a bummer, you know? Because there were some reviews of it when it first came out. People were saying it was like the coolest arcade experience that you'll ever have in your life. But you just probably will never get to experience it. So, you know, pour one out for yourself on that note. Well, now that we've bummed everyone out, let's take a look at the House of the Dead timeline. Yeah? This is the Scarlet Dawn will be the 9th House of the Dead game that could be considered canon. And I say could be because what exactly is canon seems to be up for debate. I kind of dug around and I put together my own little timeline here. And what I'm thinking is that we've got 9 games. There were some other, you know, kind of ancillary titles, like whatever. You had Typing of the Dead and all that kind of stuff, which are basically just like remakes of House of the Dead or House of the Dead 2. And I think they did one for House of the Dead 4 as well. Maybe it was House of the Dead 3. I don't know. Anyway, basically just ports of those games on PC where you're typing instead of using a controller or mouse and keyboard or anything like that. You're typing words to try to kill the zombies. So not really any reason to include those games in this timeline. But there are 2 on here that you might see that stick out right away. Zombie Revenge and Loving Dead's House of the Dead EX. We'll talk about those. Okay, so for sure, the very first title in the chronology here, looking at the timeline of the events that take place in canon throughout the House of the Dead series, Overkill. House of the Dead Overkill, that is the very first event. That takes place in 1991, and it is the first assignment that Special Agent G goes out on. He is an AMS member. AMS could be a nod to the Sega AMS company, the company that created the House of the Dead franchise. As far as like within the story, no one knows what AMS means. So make up whatever you want. I'm going to go with Amazing Monster Slayers. Okay? Might as well. Zombie Revenge comes after that. 1991 to 1998. This takes place somewhere within that frame of time. This game was originally titled Blood Bullet, House of the Dead Side Story. All of that was the title originally. Pretty clunky. So they changed it to Zombie Nightmares, and then they changed it again to Zombie Revenge right before it was released. Now, why do I put this on here? Well, it is a spin-off that might as well be considered canon. It features main protagonists in this game who are AMS agents, just like G was in House of the Dead Overkill, just like all the characters that you play pretty much in every other game except for House of the Dead 3. We'll talk about that later. Okay, yeah. The House of the Dead mainstays Thomas Rogan and G are actually both featured in this game. They have a small sort of Easter egg cameo in Zombie Revenge. So they're in there. So is the Curian Mansion that's featured as a playable level. Curian Mansion is the main area that you are in for House of the Dead, the 1998 original on Sega Saturn, and also in the arcades there. And of course, the Curian Mansion, also the home of the Black Magician Type 01. Same boss that you, well, not the exact same, but you do fight the magician, the Black Magician, not only in House of the Dead, but also in a couple other titles as well. So, in House of the Dead, the Black Magician is just called that, the Black Magician. I am guessing that Type 01 in Zombie Revenge refers to kind of a prototype version of the Black Magician. It's not the actual one that you fight in House of the Dead, but it's an earlier version that Curian was working on. So I think there are too many instances of things that you see throughout the rest of the timeline for this game to just be considered like an offshoot. I want to go ahead and throw it in. Say these events happened sometime between 1991 and 1998. No reason not to, until we're told otherwise. Let's keep it in there. It makes it more interesting, I believe. Okay, next up, House of the Dead EX, Loving Deads. What's this about? Why do I include it? This is a mini game filled House of the Dead game. Very different than the other ones. And I should also mention that Zombie Revenge is a third-person kind of beat 'em up, shoot 'em up. If you've ever played the Die Hard video game, the arcade game, it kind of reminds me of that. Loving Deads, this is all like just mini games. But there is a story to it. And the story features two zombies who have been created by Curian, who fall in love. They're being held captive, one would assume, at Curian Mansion. And you play as either Zobio or Zobiko, the young zombies in love, and you're trying to escape the mansion and find your way to freedom so that you can live out your days, I don't know, eating people and loving one another, and typical fairy tale stuff. So I'm going to say that was between 1991 and 98 as well, because we're going to talk about this in a second, but Curian created the zombies in The Loving Deads. Curian dies in 1998 at the end of House of the Dead. So, this has to be before the first game. Has to be. And it seems as though Curian didn't really begin getting into the zombie game until after Overkill. So we're going to say it's somewhere between those two. Now, which one came first? Loving Deads or Zombie Revenge? That's a toss-up. I don't know. But they're both in between Overkill and House of the Dead. We know that. House of the Dead, 1998. AMS agents Thomas Rogan and G go to Curian Mansion and investigate and save the wayward AMS agents as well as any research survivors. Curian had a lot of researchers working for him, and then he kind of lost his mind. He was making zombies, crazy guy. So the AMS went there. They saved Rogan's fiance, Sophie Richards, and ultimately Curian is killed. At the end, Curian is killed by his own creation, the magician that we talked about just several minutes ago. The magician, not the Type 01, but just the magician. After that, the mansion is visited by Curian's financier, the guy who was paying him to do all this research, a mysterious man named Caleb Goldman, who takes his research. And that's kind of how the first one ends. House of the Dead 2. G. Remember G. G, who had his first mission with House of the Dead Overkill. G, who was in House of the Dead. That same G, he's gone missing in House of the Dead 2 in Venice, Italy somewhere. Special agents James Taylor, Gary Stewart, Amy Crystal, and Harry Harris are sent to investigate. The city has been overtaken by the undead, which were unleashed by Caleb Goldman. the man who financed all of Curian's studies. He's taken Curian's information, and now for some reason he's decided to ravage Venice, Italy with zombies and monsters. They end up finding G. He's wounded. Goldman reveals a being that he's created called the Emperor. And the big Emperor is defeated, and Goldman commits suicide. He jumps off the top of a building. So, see ya, bye. 2003, House of the Dead 4. AMS Special Agents James Taylor and rookie Kate Green are at European AMS building, gathering intel below the surface on the 5th floor basement when an earthquake happens. It traps them down there. They have to fight their way out of this strange, mysterious AMS building. On their way out, they stumble upon an AMS info room and a plot to nuke the world in 24 hours. Goldman is back and he's behind it all. G ends up sacrificing himself at the end to destroy the final boss, and Kate survives. Kate Green. Then at the end of this one, a mysterious man appears, and he shows dissatisfaction with Goldman, claiming the true end will now begin. House of the Dead 4 SP, almost immediately after 2003's House of the Dead 4. Kate Green, the survivor from House of the Dead 4, she runs into our old friend G right after 4 ends. They find an underground facility with another version of who? The Magician. And they defeat him again. Because he might be a magician, but his magic game's weak, son. All right. That takes us to 2006. House of the Dead, Scarlet Dawn. The new one will follow Kate Green, the survivor from 4 and a 4 SP. She's going to join her ex-partner James Taylor's younger brother Ryan Taylor. And they're going to go on an undercover mission at Scarecrow's mansion at a dinner party. Ooh, what a lovely tea party, you might say. Now, the mystery man from House of the Dead 4, he is in this one. We know that much. He is the one who serves the guests at this dinner party. What could you say, gourmet buffet of chaos and destruction and death. Now, between 2007 and 2019, the world is totally overrun with the undead. AMS is no more. Amazing Monster Slayers are no more. And then House of the Dead 3 happens, where Thomas Rogan, the retired AMS officer, he has come back. He's formed his own task force for dealing with the nightmarish threat. He takes his team to another Curian facility, and they're all killed, and he loses contact with the outside world. Then his daughter, Lisa, goes with his old partner, OG, to find him. And then it's revealed in a flashback in this game, in House of the Dead 3. It all starts to make sense. Why? Why did Curian create this horrible virus? Why was he doing these experiments to turn people into the undead? Well, the secret's revealed in this one, but I'm not going to spoil it. So, that brings us up to speed. That's what the landscape of the House of the Dead franchise looks like. All of the canonical story put together. I think it looks like this. Okay, now it's time for us to finally take a look at the upcoming title, the brand new addition to the House of the Dead franchise, Scarlet Dawn. Yeah, finally. All right. So, earlier today, I went to the official website for Scarlet Dawn, which is somewhat of a rarity today. You don't get many franchises producing a badass official site for anything anymore. For albums, for movies, for video games, it's all kind of funneled through social media. So it's a nice treat when you get a fancy, interactive, and well thought out and well presented official website for something. And this is definitely all of those things. So let's take a look at it. Nice animations. This is actually the, what do they call this? It is the, I think the special mode. They've got like 2 different modes for the website. The regular one doesn't have any of the animation or anything, but it still looks beautiful. This is really cool. It's got sound, it's got video, it's got movement, you know, animation. Looks fantastic. They really put their time and effort into this, and I appreciate it as a fan. So you've got like scrolling screenshots here. You can click on these things, and you can actually get a look at some of the different screens from the game. Looks really cool, in my opinion. So then you start to scroll down here. I don't know exactly what this all says. Unfortunately, they don't have an official English version of the website. So we kind of went over the story here. You're playing as Kate Green, or what was his name? Ryan. We're going to see it in a second. So go down here, scroll down. About House of the Dead. Here's what the cabinet's going to look like. So, whoa, I didn't even see this before. Okay. So I set the alarm off and the zombie comes out. Ah! Alright, cool. I appreciate that. Some more zombies pop up. Movie. So we watched a little bit of the trailer on the small little television there that was floating above Curian Mansion. You guys definitely check out the official trailers in full, in all their glory. System. What do you got here? Some more screenshots, kind of explaining how the game works. Now I don't know if this was someone not translating properly, but I heard that you don't have to aim off screen to reload in this one. And that could be inaccurate, but I thought that was interesting. They said that if you just continue shooting, then it'll reload automatically. But I don't know if that's actually true. Now this is something I wanted to talk about. I looked this up. It's called the AIM. It's like a little card, and they only use these in Japan, unfortunately. Why not? You know, Japan always gets this cool stuff they don't bring over here. But it's like a card. You register with Sega, and then you get your own AIM card, and you can use this card at different arcade machines. And it's a way to save your game. You can save your progress because there is a way to level up in this one. And you know, they have a ranking system that it goes online, and you can go and swipe your card every time you play and try and climb up in the rankings, and like I said, unlock new shit, level up your character. Just seems like a really cool thing, you know. I wish that they would do something like that here. Maybe at some point they'll roll that out in the States, but I don't know. I feel like we could handle it. I feel like people outside Japan would enjoy that. It said you could also use your smartphone for the AIM pass as well. So bring that over here. I think we'd all like that. I think that might get some more people to go and visit the arcade as well.
When in doubt, head
So
left.
here you go. This is Kate Green. We just saw her. She was the survivor in both 4 and 4 Special.
How do you feel?
Man.
Cool, yeah?
This feller, I feel cool, yeah. He kind of looks like, he kind of reminds me of a younger Martin Freeman, a little bit. Maybe just a little bit. Hold on, I gotta get this guy's name. Who the hell? What was his damn name? Kate Green and Ryan Taylor, that was it. Yeah, because his father was James Taylor. Okay, that was it. Had to look that up there. Sorry. Keep going down here. Now here are all the creatures. They give. This is pretty cool. It's almost like a character selection screen in a fighting game or something. They'll give you an opportunity to click through and see all of these guys. And some of these you might recognize. So this one, Rogers, he looks new. Alan's a newbie. Santana with his nice hat here. Here's a nice hat. Too bad that he's got it mucked up a little bit, as well as his suit. He's going to have to visit the cleaners after this is all said and done. Bryant. Bryant looks kind of like your next door neighbor. Just the old man out watering the garden, and then he accidentally turns into a zombie. So Wilson. Wilson's got a big old mouth on him. That guy. White eyes. Creepy, huh? Yeah. Now this dude, he is a wily veteran of the House of the Dead series. This is, I don't know how you say his name. The American in me would say Keijo, but I think it's Kageo. That's my guess. That's my best Japanese guess. And he's been in House of the Dead 1, 2, 3, and 4. Suzuki, he's a new guy. Cyril, or Cyril. Sit down and have yourself a bowl of Cyril. You wouldn't want to have a bowl of this dude. He is a familiar face in the series. He's wielding his machete. Park. It's not a park you want to play with, let me tell you that much. Don't let your kids go to this park. Mac. That's not any Mac that your kids want a part of either. That's not mac and cheese. That's Mac the zombie with a big ass katana and another sword sticking out the side of his knee right here. Or is that just for show? I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Ebitan. Not new to the series. You've seen him before, haven't you? Down in the sewers. Creepy, mucky guy. Smoker. Yep. It'll get you. It'll get you. Big Tobacco be like. Am I right? Simon. Simon says, I'm gonna boot you right in your face. How about that shit? He's not new. He's been around. Bentley. No, sorry. This is Bruce. This is obviously modeled after. Eric Clapton. This is Eric Clapton right here with his signature hat. You all know Eric Clapton from Van Halen. And here's Bentley. Bentley. Big Bentley. Big Bentley. He's been around. No stranger to the series. Samson's been around. He's not a stranger. Samson Jr. Now, this guy's new. You know, Samson, he had himself a lady somehow. But you know what? It's canon. It's been established. It's been established with EX that zombies can fall in love. They can go off together. Not out of the realm of possibilities that Samson here found himself a pretty little zombie lady, settled down for a time anyhow before this game, and had himself a Samson Jr. There he is. Ironically, he looks a little bit bigger than his daddy. Ruben. What's to say about Ruben? Ruben's got his blades on his hands. He's trying to be kind of like Wolverine. He's a big Wolverine fan. Also not a stranger to the series. Drake. This guy's new. He looks kind of like a Cockney sort of street dweller, you know? Oh, come over here. I'll cook you. He'll cook you, mate. You know, stuff like that. That's not Cockney. Janish. Janish is like Jan, but not exactly. He's just kind of like Jan. That's why he's Jan-ish. Mirror. Mirror on the wall. They will bite your face off. Also, been around for quite a while. Devilon's been around before. Rat Star. This is new. The Rat Star is new. I don't know what to say about those guys. They look scary. Swing low. my priestess. She is not new. She's been around before. Well, the regular priestess has been here before. And the Hanged Man. Hanged Man. So those are your creepy monsters, guys. That's what the bosses look like. Or not all the bosses, but sorry. Those are the creatures you're going to fight. They probably have not listed all the bosses. I think they've given you a few there with Hanged Man, the Priestess, and the Chariot. Now this, if you were in Japan, you could see which locations actually had... Oh no! We've disturbed the mirror. So yeah, if you lived in Japan, you could look up the locations by you that were going to be carrying this game. You could see the rankings. You could check out the Q&A. As we move on down here, this is a little sad. This is a cool animation down here, though. But what's sad? This right here, because it's a creepy game, a creepy bonus game that they let you play. Unfortunately, however, it does not seem to work very well on my computer. I don't think it was optimized for whatever I have going on here. I tried it on my phone, and it seemed to work a little bit better. But here, I'll let you guys check it out. Here's what happens when you try and play this game. See if your experience is different than mine. So these guys are going to start coming after me. You got to click on them. See what's going on here? They're really tough, aren't they? Now, where'd that come from? Look at this shit. This is where you just hope that the final game is better than this. You see this? Yeah. Time's up. So I got a C ranking. Not the greatest game ever made. They tried. I'll give them marks for trying, I suppose, but that's not good. That was not good. I did get an A ranking on the mobile version, but it was still really weird. The zombies would come down the hallway, and they weren't as jerky as they were in what you just saw. They were actually moving, smoothly, but some of them looked to be like the size of a pea, and others were like taking up the entire screen, and there was just like no rhyme or reason to it, and it was really, really weird. I don't know. It's like maybe they didn't have enough time to polish it the way they wanted to, and we're just like, whatever. No one goes to websites anymore. I don't know why we did this to begin with, but I went there, and now some of you might go and try for yourself. I'd like to hear your tales. Let me know in the comments what happened when you tried to play this game. I want to know if it's just my computer or if maybe it's something buggy with the game itself. So that's it, guys. I think this game's going to be really fun. I hope that all of you will get out to your local Dave & Buster's to give it a shot, please. Coming out in October. There is no official release date. The guy, whatever, the COO from Dave & Buster's, he came out and he just announced that it will be hitting Dave & Buster's in October, but did not give an exact date. So you might want to call up your local Dave & Buster's and ask them if they have any more information for you. They might be able to tell you. They might have a better idea as we move closer to the Halloween month. So, with that, my friends, I would like to thank you for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If there's any other games, whatever, movies that you would like me to run through in this type of format, let me know. Or if there's anything about this video you think could have been better, please let me know. I didn't intend to get this detailed. Originally, I was just going to do a quick run through of the website and talk a little bit about my impressions of the game. But hey, here we are. I hope that everyone's a little more excited for House of the Dead Scarlet Dawn at this point. A nice new arcade game. Nice fresh arcade game. First one in the series to come out at the arcade for, what has it been, about 12 years now? Something like that. I think that's what they said. So, yeah. So you guys take care, and we will talk to you soon. Make sure that you subscribe, like this video, share it, bong the gong for notifications, and we will see y'all soon. Take real good care. Bye-bye. My friends, we are Superdivorce, a synth pop duo with a full-length album called Action Figures. You can listen to it on many streaming platforms, including Spotify, where you can follow us and keep up to date with all of our tunes. If you like what you hear, why not pick up a copy of Action Figures on CD, cassette tape, or vinyl record at superdivorceme.com, and grab a Superdivorce Rules t-shirt while you're there too. And hey, while you're here, please make sure that you've liked this video, sub to our channel, and bong the gong for notifications. We go live here every single day, so don't miss out on your chance to join us in real time for chats and the latest in pop culture news. We have a fantastic community, and we'd love for you to be a part of it. On top of daily vids and some rad tunes, we also produce a weekly podcast called the Superdivorce Supercast, with new episodes every Friday, as well as a comic book review show called Super Fanatics, a horror movie review show called Super Scary, some video game streaming, and a Star Wars review called Sequential Star Wars, in which I, Nicholas, and my good brother Andrew review the Star Wars films and TV shows in sequential chronological order, and with the shilling complete. Please look forward to another video here on the official YouTube channel of Superdivorce.
We gonna go viral with this one.